Hello everyone. So let's learn about how to deploy a agentic app into HuggingFace. So here I have taken one end-to-end agentic app, um, and I will walk you through how it is being structured and its deployment into HuggingFace. So we will try to deploy it into HuggingFace. So first we will try to visualize what this app is all about, and then its structure and how it is going to be deployed and what its deployment architecture look like. So just to make it intuitive to understand how this application looks like. Um, so I will be browsing. Yeah, so it seems like some connection error. Let me figure it out if it has not been stopped. Right. So it has been stopped. I need to run and start it once again. So this is my application and I'm going to run in my local. So this is a Streamlit app, and when I'm running it, it will look like this. Okay. So we are having, yeah, so this is a stateful agentic AI graph. And here you have to select LLM provider. So we are going to get LLM from Grok. Okay. And what are the LLM's models? It will get list and you have to select one of them. Here you have to provide your API key, Grok API key. And this is the use case is a basic chatbot. So here it is prompting uh, chatbot, and chatbot in the sense if it is chatbot, you should be able to chat, put your question here and hit enter. It will go and give you the response. So uh, right. So this is application all about, and just to make it executable, let me paste my one of the API key, and now let me make a call or say hi. So this is my user response and this is my chatbot response. So it is saying that, hey, how I can help you and blah, 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 right? And this is chat GPT-3 language model. Okay. So this is our application. Now let's dive into architecture, how it looks like. So we saw that application. So how this application been constructed, it apps framework and its integration architecture, how it looks like. So we have a one UI component. UI has been developed in Streamlit, and it uses the framework that is called line graph. And in the line graph, it invokes one graph, and that graph nothing but it will have one uh, chatbot graph node, and that chatbot graph node will be wrapping a Grok uh, client, and Grok client will be making a call to LLM, and finally whatever uh, query it has been placed in UI, it will respond back to the UI with response. So this is the application architecture. Let's try to understand how deployment architecture will look like. So when we will be deploying into Hugging Face, so Hugging Face is nothing but it's a cloud, and you will be having your own account, and within that account you will get a one workspace or a space. So in that space, you will go and you will deploy your UI uh, UI component, which will be wrapping up all these line graph, line chain, and uh, Grok client. And Grok client, which is bind with this UI component, deployment package or binaries, it will make a call based on your selected option. It will make a call to Grok Cloud's LLM server, and it will, whatever model you have selected, it will go and inference that model and get the response. So this is how deployment architecture looks like. So now let's try to have an overview of application, how it is been constructed. So this is end-to-end agentic AI application. Into it, we have source, and within the source, we have LangGraph, uh, agentic AI folder. Within this, we have all the subcomponents. So UI, this component is responsible for all UI uh, uh, construct, right? So for UI, we have used Streamlit. So you will see Streamlit UI. And in Streamlit UI, we have first this component or file, which will be responsible for rendering when this app get start very first time. And display results, this is the component which will be responsible for once you are making a call, putting any question or making call, that this guy will get the result and display it. So this is the UI space. Now to work it and integrate with LangChain and LangGraph, so we need a LangGraph, one graph, right? And graph is nothing but it's uh, getting built with nodes and its edges, right? And node is nothing but it has uh, LLMs and tools bind together, right? So this will be containing LLMs, which LLMs will be responsible for giving the output. So downside is LLM. So here we have Grok LLM construct, all the code related with that. And then with that LLM, we have built a basic chatbot node. So it's nothing but it's getting that LLM, and whatever LLM you have selected, it is getting invoked, right? And with this node, we have built a one graph, which will be basic chatbot graph, which is going to have one basic node construct. We are constructing basic node, and we are adding uh, that node, a chatbot uh, node to this builder, graph builder. So this node being added here. Okay, and as it is graph, it will have a start head. So we are saying that okay, start will point to chatbot, whatever chatbot node we have created. And after that chatbot node, if it is done, then it will go to the end of that graph. So this is high level construct of graph. And this graph will be maintaining a state, right? So state will be responsible for maintaining all the states, which will get a response from uh, different nodes. And in UI, simply what we are doing, if yeah, so this is the main application for this UI. What it does, it's basically loads a land graph agentic AI app. So very first time it's going to load a agentic AI uh, uh, app. So it it is calling this UI components getting loaded, and then this is a user input, and if it is session states and all that, We will deep dive in another video. Already we have deep dive, but we will deep dive in more detail. So for now, this is high level construct, and from here app.py, this whole line graph load graphic agentic AI app is getting invoked, which is nothing but in the main. So this is how whole application will integrate within itself to get started, right? Now this is the application structure, and what we would like to achieve, we would like to deploy this running application, this application into currently it is running in my local, so we need to deploy into Hugging Face cloud. Hugging Face provides the places where we can deploy. So now we will understand to deploy it there what we need. So first of all, if we are going to deploy into Hugging Face, we need a Hugging Face account, right? So we need a Hugging Face account. So to get Hugging Face account, how it looks like, right? So you should be able to log in to Hugging Face, and you should be able to get a account. So there would be two options to log in. Either you can log in with your Google account, or you should be able to log in with GitHub. So this is the two option. So as our application will be uh, having repositories in GitHub, so uh, we will be logging into GitHub so that all the repos and all that will be available into my account in Hugging Face. And in Hugging Face, we should be having a space where we should deploy our application. So how to get that? For example, I have created two space. Okay, so you can go and you can create a space from here. Click on new space, and you will give the space name, description. And while creating, you have to choose what's the space SDK you would like to. Or is it your application is Streamlit, Gradio, or any Docker, or any static HTML5 application? You have to do. So in my case, I have a Streamlit. So I have selected Streamlit, and I have created that space for me. So I have two space, line graph, agentic AI, and test one, right? So I have, so how I will be deploying into this workspace. Now we have to understand that. Before that, we have to have our code in GitHub, right? So this is my GitHub account. And if we'll go here in repository, you will see I have this end-to-end agentic AI repo. Okay, so I have pushed my code into this repo. If, I have pushed into repo. I have account in Hugging Face. I have created workspace, but how it has to go and deploy to into Hugging Face. That's the next target. So how we should be able to do that? So in any spaces, if we are going over there, so yeah, if you have deployed your application, it will go and run like this. Okay. Otherwise, for example, this is my one space, and what it says that to deploy it, it's again it seems similar to Git, right? GitHub. So similar to GitHub, HuggingFace.co is having a inbuilt GitHub. Uh, it seems like, and it's providing a space, and this is your account, and this is your space name. Okay. So it's saying that you should be able to clone, and you should be able to build a simple application, and if you will be committing, it will automatically go and deploy it here, right? So this is directly you are deploying into Hugging Face. Understand? But in our scenario, our code is in GitHub. And from GitHub, how I should be able to push to Hugging Face? That's the challenge. So in GitHub, we know that we are having actions, right? And GitHub Actions plays a CI/CD kind of construct. So through help of GitHub Action, you can design a workflow saying that whenever any code change happens, you go and deploy my stuff in any server. So in our case, we will leverage the GitHub Action and workflow where we will tell go and deploy my application to Hugging Face. So now let's understand how we should be doing that. For that, in your repo, in your projects, you have to add .github folder, and underneath you will be adding one workflows folder, and in workflows you will be having main.yaml file. This is YAML file, nothing but it's a one pipeline, CI/CD pipeline, you can understand, and it will run the jobs which will do the deployment. Okay, so let's understand what it does. So for example, I have named it sync to Hugging Face space. When it has to happen on any push, on any push in this branch, the branch name is main. So if you are pushing anything in main branch, it has to trigger. And this is the workflow uh, which has to dispatch, right? So in this, what if anything gets changes or pushes into main branch, it has to invoke this job. And what this job will do, sync to hub, and it will be using this platform to run behind the scene, right? GitHub Cloud provides that, and uh, this is the checkout it will do, and all those stuffs, right? And these are the other things which ignore large file and all that. This is the another action in this steps. It has to go do push to the hub, and this is a very important thing. So here in these steps, we are having one environment, and here what we are setting in the environment, we are setting up Hugging Face token, because how the Hugging Face and GitHub will talk together, right? So here we are saying that from Hugging Face, from GitHub, you will read this secret. From the secrets, you will read this key, Hugging Face token. So it will read, but have we configured? So let's learn about that. So from Hugging Face, what we have to do to establish that connectivity, you have to go to your space setting. Okay. So you have to go to your workspace and access token, and you have to create a one token. So I have went there. I have created one Agentic AI name and one token. So you will go here. You will create, give any name, right? And then what you have to do, you have to select write option, because this token would be having a write option into this space, workspace. So that's where you have to create one token which will have a write option. And after creating that token, you have to copy it. And then you have to come to this. For example, I have taken this test, created this token. I will copy it. Okay. I'll copy, close here, right? And I will delete this. So, and here you came to this repo. And in this repo, you will go to the actions, right? So these are your actions. And yeah, you will go to setting in your repo. Now you have to go to your secret and variables section. And here you will be getting actions options. This is secret and variables you would like to uh, uh, have a for actions, GitHub actions. So this token, here you will come and here you will create a new token. You will give the name. So I have given this Hugging Face, and this is the key. So I will add it. So for me, it's saying that I'm already having it. So that's where it didn't have, didn't add it, right? So this is the steps you have to do to integrate from GitHub to your Hugging Face. So with this integration, your GitHub will be having write permission into your workspace, which is in Hugging Face. Understand? Now let's understand. Okay, now GitHub, my GitHub repo have a permission to write into Hugging Face space. But with this, there should be some process which will do this deployment. So how to do that? For that, we had this workflow, right? Created uh, for this is the YML file uh, to have a pipeline kind of construct which will get trigger whenever you will push anything into main branch. So I have did that, and I have built my project and deployed into code, deployed into GitHub. But will it happen automatically? No. Again, I have to do some change and deploy it, right? And to work it properly, there is few more things. Hugging Face tries to recognize this. So in README file, you have to add these tables. So if you will go in my GitHub, you will see this table structure GitHub looks for. Okay, just to validate that it is been applied, right? So without this, it will not work. So what you can do, you can take it and copy it from here and place in your README, and it will work. Okay. So after doing that, I have already built and deployed, but now I would like to deploy it again, right? So what I will do, I will add test here. I have to make some change. Okay. And I will save it. I will stop this, which is running in my local. I will say get status. there is a change in my file. So what I'm going to do, CLS, right? Git status, one readme file has been modified. I will do go and git add, and then I will do git commit, and I will say that modified readme, right? And I will go and say that git push origin made. Okay, git push origin made. Right, see, so it has been pushed. Now let's go ahead quickly see that action has to get triggered in GitHub. So this is, you see, this one just now started and skewed. And if you will go to my space in GitHub, you will be able to see there is a deployment also happening. You see, build is queued, it's built, it's done, and application startup has been happened. So automatically that build has happened and application got deployed here, and now it's running. Okay, so if I will share this link to anyone, anyone would be able to access. At least let me try in another incognito window, right? And for that, at least you'll have an account. So this is running in my app, right? And if I would like to test it, just I will be providing my Grok account key here, and then I will go and ask what is Grok. See how fast it is. I'm able to get the response. So with that, what we learned, let's recap it quickly. So we learned we have end-to-end application, agentic AI applications, which is having a UI, it's uh, lang graph and lang chain, and this lang chain will call Grok, leveraging Grok, and Grok will be providing LLMs, and with that, it will make a call, and finally it will respond to the UI. And how its deployment architecture look like. So we are going to deploy the same application into Hugging Face. Here in this view, Grok client will make a call to Grok Cloud to serve the response from this LLM. And finally, from here, you UI will get a response, right? So this is how this deployment architecture looks like, and your response will flow. Hope you learned something new. Um, Thanks for watching.